I really think small business is a good option for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Education is not for everybody. If you took all that money you wasted on those colleges and invested in small business, you might have been a lot better off. Maybe sometimes you're better off investing in your future. Women often sacrifice their career for their job. Your good work doesn't speak for itself. You've got to be your own marketing function. If you market enough, you don't have to sell. If you didn't make the mistake, you wouldn't have learned. I've read more books on Buddhism than I have on business. I need help and it's okay. I have no delusion about my willpower. Once we get over this silly macho, I can do everything on my own. Hey, I can't do everything on my own.
I think you are the best coach.
I feel the biggest pain when I see people who cannot find their place under the sun. Unmotivated, sad, and desperate people. Business owners, entrepreneurs suffering from burnout, stress, and boredom, and no time for their family. My biggest goal is to help them realize that this world provides enough opportunities for everybody. I managed to help thousands of people, but I strongly believe that we can do so much more if we unite our knowledge and skills. And this is the reason I started doing interviews with the best visionaries and world changers. Their inspiring personal and success stories are a proof that everything is possible. All you have to do is listen and learn. Together, we can change our lives and the future of this world.
Hello, my name is Miljan Mori. I'm the founder of the Warrior Family podcast, the podcast that wants you to inspire, to have it all in your life, in all areas of your life, to have a successful marriage, a great relationship with your kids, a successful business, and time for yourself and for your family. Look great, have a fit body, enough energy to travel and to do the stuff that you enjoy doing. And today I have a guest, a special guest. I read almost all of his books, but not 31 of the books. And this one is my favorite, Triggers. And probably you know that I'm talking about Dr. Marshall Goldsmith. He is #1 leadership thinker in the world. So welcome, Dr. Marshall, on my Warrior Family podcast. It's a great pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it took some time to organize all of this, and I'm so happy to meet you in Kazakhstan. You said your first time in the Kazakhstan.
It is. This is country number 101 for me.
101 country. Mm-hmm. Wow, it's a lot of traveling. And maybe let's start with this. Let's test your intuition. What do you think that is going to be the first question that I'm going to ask you?
Something about leadership.
Something about leadership. Maybe not, but
okay,
maybe
good.
You are right. I want to talk about leadership too, but my main mission for this Warrior Family podcast is to give my audience the advice and tips on how to have it all. Like
sure.
you are working with many top CEOs and entrepreneurs in the world.
Right.
And do you think that they really have it all? It's more maybe about the business, and how is their personal life affecting their professional life?
Oh, it depends. Some of them, I'd say, have a fantastic personal life, and some of them are disasters, like any other group of people. If you do a study of, for example, wealth and happiness, mm-hmm. once you get beyond a middle-class level of income, there's not a whole lot of correlation between wealth and happiness, which means rich people may be happier, they may be less happy. Mm-hmm. So, my clients on the whole, I'd say they have pretty good lives and pretty good family lives. Not all of them, of course, but I'd say above average.
I'm sure that when they meet you, after that they have good family life, but before, I know that we are used to work as entrepreneurs and CEOs for
right.
12, 14 hours a day.
Right.
And it's not easy to find and create some time and space right. for our kids and family.
Right.
So I read in your book, Moyo,
Yes.
I read it that one day your daughter, you'd ask your kids,
Right. How can I be a better father?
how can you be a better father?
Right.
So I have a daughter, she is 7, she's going to be 8 now.
Good.
And son Samuel, he's going to be 7 years old.
Good.
And I have the whole world in front of me, the
Yes.
whole life. So what advice would you give me to become a better father?
I would give the same advice that's in the book.
Yeah.
Ask your kids how you can be better, and also measure. Measure how many minutes a day you spend one-on-one time with each child. When I started doing that, I asked my daughter, what can I do to be a better father?
Mm-hmm.
She said, Daddy, you travel a lot, but that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is the way you act when you come home. You talk on the phone, you watch sports, you don't spend much time with me. And she said, one time I went to go to a party at my friend's house and Mommy didn't let me go.
Yep.
I had to stay with you, and then you spend no time with me. She said, that's not right. So I'm going to do better. I started measuring how many days I could spend 4 hours with my family. 1991, 92 days. 1992, 110. 1993, 131. 1994, 135. I made more money the year I spent 135 than the year I spent 20.
Wow.
That's January 1, 1995. They're both teenagers. I got my charts.
How old they were
Kids,
then?
look, 135 days with 4 hours with Dad. What's the goal this year? How about 150? They both said, no.
It was too much already.
Too much. Cut back. Too much.
Cut back, Daddy, please.
Too much Daddy.
Too much of Daddy. But what I'm fascinated about you is that you have a system for tracking everything.
I do, yes.
So like, when you tell to somebody, track how many minutes you spend with your family and kids,
Right.
they usually go like, I'm not going to track that. Why is tracking so important?
Well, what we measure, we tend to do.
Mm-hmm.
What we don't measure, we tend not to do. Measurement, what we measure drives away what we don't measure.
Mm-hmm.
If you measure one thing and don't measure something else, you'll tend to do what gets measured, and you'll tend to not do what not gets measured. And the people at home are more important than the people at work. You measure everything at work.
I like it. People at home are more important than people at work.
Right.
You know that this, I got this many years ago, but I didn't live it.
Yeah.
It's one thing that you know, but you don't live it.
Right.
So I got this lection maybe 6 months ago, when it came to me very clearly that I used to say that my business is my family.
Yes.
I was saying this 20 years, and then in one day it changed everything. Like, my family is my business, not my business is my family.
Right.
And you said that people at home are more important than people at work. It doesn't mean that you don't like and love people at work.
Right.
But you spend more time with people at work than with people at home. Like,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
When you're on your deathbed and you look around, none of your coworkers are going to wave goodbye.
It's a strong one.
Mm.
It's a strong one. So yeah, people, we are in the business, we are used to track everything, numbers,
Of course.
to see how successful we are, but it's not common to us to track how much time we spend with our kids and our family.
That's right.
Yeah. So let's talk about this change.
Okay.
Okay. Why it's so hard to change? Like, the behavior change is so hard. I own a business for 20 years. I have 150 salespeople, and whenever I want to implement some change, my God, it's a lot of pain.
It's very hard. Well, the more successful we become, the more difficult it is to change. See, any human or any animal will replicate behavior that is followed by positive reinforcement. The more successful we become, the more positive reinforcement we get, and we fall into a trap. I behave this way. I am successful, therefore I must be successful because I behave this way. Wrong. You behave this way, you are successful because you do many things right, and in spite of doing things that make no sense. Yet we tend to repeat everything we've done because it's followed by reinforcement. The other thing that happens is the world changes. And maybe you're doing a great job in the present world. That doesn't mean you're prepared for the new world. There's somebody wrote a book once called "What Got You Here Won't Get You There."
Yeah,
I forget who it was. A brilliant book.
This one, huh?
That guy, yeah.
Yeah. That guy, yeah.
That guy, yeah.
So what we do, we fall into the trap that we think that what brought us here, the habits, the
Yeah.
rituals that we have, that's these habits and everything will get us to some another next level.
Right, and basically, what got you here is what got you to where you are. That doesn't mean that's going to get you to the next level.
Like I'm 20 years in the business.
Yeah.
What advice would you give me to go to the next level? Because it is obvious that I'm stuck a little bit, but not last 6 months. I'm doing some major changes.
Well, I would start with yourself.
Yeah.
I was just day before yesterday, I met with a famous man, German Greff, he's CEO of a bank,
Okay.
Sberbank, biggest bank in Russia, right? Nice guy. And the message I gave to him and his top management team is, you want others to change? Let them watch you change.
Wow.
You get input.
As the president
you pick
of the
important
bank.
things. Yeah, everybody, the top people. This is the top 18 people. Let them watch you change, because you don't preach. You guys get better. Not me, of course. I'm perfect, but you. No. Now, if you want people to get better, let them watch you get better. So if your business people need to change, let them watch you change. Let them watch you get feedback. Let them watch you pick what's most important for you to change, and then you're leading by example. You're not leading by talk.
Talk is cheap.
Talk is very cheap.
Talk is cheap. It's interesting that probably when companies or CEOs hire you, they want them to fix some professional aspect of your life. But every book that I read from you, it's all about personal change.
Right.
So how do they accept that they have to change first in order their business to change?
Well, I think the world is changing in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of one thing. The U.S. version of my book, Triggers, 27 major CEOs endorsed the book. Now, why am I so proud of that? 30 years ago, no CEO would admit to having a coach. They'd be embarrassed, ashamed. Today, this is president of the World Bank. I have a coach. CEO of the Year, I have a coach. All these famous people, they have coaches. Well, how many of the top 10 tennis players have coaches?
Yeah.
10?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. They're smart.
Yeah, there is still this mindset also in our country and this part of the world. If you have a coach, there is something wrong with you.
Right. Well, is there something wrong with the top 10 tennis players?
No, it's not.
They all have coaches.
Yeah.
By the
So-
way, is there something wrong with all those people I coach?
No. I
They're
don't
pretty
think
special
so.
people.
They're
look,
pretty
look at their names.
Yeah.
Not a secret who I coach. These are, CEO of Pfizer and CEO of Glaxo and the president of World Bank and, the head of the Mayo Clinic. And, they're not losers.
No, they are not losers, certainly. Yeah, so this change, what about goal setting? I'm training also other people, and I train my salespeople, and you can tell the same thing to everybody.
Yes.
They set goals, they get fired up, they are motivated, they go out, and most of them, they don't know nothing.
Right.
Why? We can read so many books on goal setting, watch a lot of courses, but why goal setting is so hard?
Goal achieving is so hard.
Okay.
Goal setting's not hard.
Goal
setting's easy.
Did you hear that? Goal setting is easy.
Goal achieving is hard.
So why the goal achieving is hard?
Everybody wants to be in shape, but by February, the gym is empty. Arnold Schwarzenegger's got a good quote. He said, "Nobody got muscles by watching me lift the weights." You have to lift the weights. It's not hard to understand the theory of weightlifting. Just doing it is the hard part, right?
You don't get these muscles by watching Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So I would say a couple of thoughts. One is, in my book, Triggers.
Yeah.
As we journey through life, we're constantly bombarded by triggers.
Yeah.
Triggers, any stimulus may impact our behavior. Now, sometimes these triggers push us toward becoming the person we want to be. In most cases, no. They push us away. We get distracted, things come up, we hadn't planned on them, and then the day's gone, over and over and over. And we never plan on anything bad happening. We have this dream that we're going to go through these perfect days, and no distractions, and nobody dies, and no computers break, and everything's fine. That's not real.
No.
In the real world, things happen all the time. People tend to. I'm the only teacher you've ever met that's collected data from tens of thousands of people who've been to my class. And I ask them, do they do what I teach and do they get better? People do the stuff, get better. People don't do the stuff, I have good news. They don't get worse. They stay the same. Very unlikely to get worse. They may get better, they may stay the same.
Yeah.
So anyway, years ago, my biggest client was Johnson & Johnson. I had the privilege of working with their CEO at the time, Ralph Larson, down to the person number 2,000, top 2,000 leaders.
Okay.
They all went to my class, and I asked them to pick things to improve and talk to people and follow up. Very simple stuff, right? 98% said, yes, I'm going to do these things. 98%.
Simple stuff.
A year later, 70% did something, and 30% zero, not 1 minute. Now, again, I'm not ashamed of these numbers. I'm proud. 70% of 2,000 people is 1,400 people getting evaluated by 10 coworkers each, so 14,000 people have a little better life, so I'm not ashamed of that. I got to talk to people that did nothing and said, why'd you do nothing? The answer had nothing to do with ethics, values, or integrity. They won an award. Most ethical company in the world. They're good people. I'm sure your listeners are good people. Nothing to do with intelligence. They're smart people. I'm sure your listeners are smart people. The reason people did nothing had to do with the dream. Dream sounds like this. You know, I'm incredibly busy right now, given pressures of work and home and new technology that follows me everywhere, and emails and voicemails and competition. I feel about as busy as I ever have. Sometimes I feel overcommitted. I don't tell others this, but every now and again my life feels a little bit out of control. But you know, I'm working on some very unique and special challenges right now. And I think the worst of this will be over in about 4 or 5 months. And then I'm going to take 2 or 3 weeks and get organized and spend some time with the family and begin my new Healthy Life program, and everything will be different, and it won't be crazy anymore. Now, how many of us have had that dream?
I think you were talking to me.
We all have the same dream.
I wrote that down, that we have this huge dream.
Oh, yeah.
That one day we won't be so busy anymore.
Right.
This
It's
is
not
a
going to
great
happen. When I work in big companies, I ask a question. How many of you have a boss and you have to make numbers?
Yeah.
Then I call on this guy and say, all right, let's imagine you overachieve on every number by 25%.
Yeah.
Then say, next year is the boss going to say, lower the goals? No.
No.
What does he say?
Higher.
Now, you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Yeah. Let's say you overachieved every one of your goals by 25%. What are you going to do next year?
Raise the bar.
Of course. Now, the only thing that's different is when a guy works for somebody else and they have to do this, I make them raise their hand and say, you know, it is always going to be crazy. In your case, it's different. You see, you are always going to be crazy. Entrepreneur, I tell him, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
Who's the guy making you do this stuff? You. Who's your boss?
Yeah.
You, right? Oh, yeah. It doesn't stop. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if you're in a business. The numbers don't go down.
Yeah, they always go up.
They always go up.
But the thing is that if
We have this dream, though. Now, the one thing you've done twice,
Yeah?
one word. When I talk to you, you're not supposed to start a sentence with 3 words. No, but, however. You do 2 buts. Very bad.
But
Not supposed to say that.
is this?
Now, what's your favorite charity?
I'm donating monies to kids.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you just lost $40 for the little kids. Every time you do this, I would say $20.
Wow. 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 So this word "but," what is after this word "but"? Probably excuses, huh?
Yeah, but
Why we make? I think we are excuses making machines.
we are.
We
And
are.
when someone talks to you and you say "but," you just meant didn't count. Bad habit.
Huge one. But.
But. Kid comes home from school. Daddy, Mommy, 5 times I made the high grade, and 1 time I made almost high grade. What do we say? It was great, but why didn't you make the high grade every time? You know what the kid is thinking?
Yeah.
That was great, but why do I have you for a daddy?
Yeah.
Let's trade in for a new daddy.
Let's
Nice daddy, not a mean daddy.
Yeah, but really, why do we make so many excuses?
But really, yeah, but really, you did it
But
again.
really, yeah.
Now it's 60.
Why do we make so many excuses?
Well, it's very hard, a variety of reasons. One, it's very hard for smart people not to constantly prove we're smart. You've spent your life being tested, test after test after test. You've had to prove how smart you are. So it's very hard to stop doing that.
Great.
Yeah. See, what happens is when you're at the bottom of an organization, you always have to prove yourself.
Yeah.
That's okay. But then you become the leader. You have to quit trying to be the smartest person all the time. Let somebody else be the smart one. Hard. Hard to make this transition because we're so geared. My book, What Got You Here, number one problem, winning too much. We have to win. We have to prove how smart we are. We have to prove how right we are over and over and over. It's very hard to stop. We're deeply trained to do this over and over. It's hard to stop. Even when it's unnecessary, we do it anyway.
Great thing. So when you start at the bottom and you rise to the top in your organization, you think that you always have to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
And you have to have the answer for every
And at the
question.
top, you don't have the answer. For example, if you're the CEO of a big company and you know more about marketing than the marketing guy,
Then?
more about finance than the finance person, more about HR than the HR woman, if you know more than they do, you don't have a leadership problem. You have a selection problem. You picked the wrong team. They should know more than you do. Well, if they know more than you do, you can't just tell them what to do and how to do it. One of my good coaching clients retired several years ago, J.P. Garnier, CEO of Glaxo. I said, what'd you learn about leadership as the CEO of GlaxoSmithKline? He said, I've learned a hard lesson. My suggestions become orders. If they're smart, they're orders, and if they're stupid, they're orders. If I want them to be orders, they are. If I don't want them, they're orders anyway.
Yeah.
My suggestions are orders. So I asked him, what'd you learn from me when I was your coach that helped you the most? He said, you taught me one lesson. It helped me be a better leader and have a happier life. I said, what was it? He said, before I speak, breathe and ask myself one question. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And he said, as the CEO of Glaxo, 50% of the time, if he had the discipline to breathe and ask, is it worth it, what would he decide? Am I right? Maybe. Is it worth it? No.
Wow, great lessons here. What are the traits of the most successful CEOs or leaders that you worked with? Like
I'm
top
not,
three, maybe?
I'm not an expert on all traits.
Okay.
The thing is, I can give you the traits of the ones that get better. I do know about that.
Okay.
3 things. 1 is courage.
Courage.
You have to have the courage to look in the mirror. Very hard.
And to tell the truth.
Very hard. 2 is humility. Because you see, I can't help anyone improve if they're already perfect. If somebody's perfect, there's nothing I'm going to do to help them. They don't need me. And the 3rd one is discipline. The discipline required to do the day-to-day hard work to get the job done. Courage, humility, discipline.
Wow, great one. So courage to look in the mirror and to admit that you are not perfect. That
Courage to look in the mirror and the humility to admit you're not perfect.
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
discipline to do something about
to
it.
execute.
Yes.
Phew, I'm getting better here.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the book Triggers, I
Yes.
read about the concept that we all have a leader, a manager inside of ourselves. And we have this doer, worker, or employee.
Right, right.
So at the same time, we have to make all the plans, all the visions, setting all the goals for yourself, for others, and then you have to execute.
Yeah, the manager is not the doer.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on this? a
Yeah,
little
in the
bit?
morning you
Yeah.
wake up.
Yeah.
You're going to have this, you're not sleepy, you wake up, you make this plan.
Yeah.
Healthy food day, all these good things. End of the day, tired, hungry, 1 beer, maybe 2, 5.
3 or 4 coffees.
Yeah, end of the day, and it all disappears.
Yeah.
We all overestimate the value of willpower. And look, I have a woman call me up every day. Either I pay them or it's a peer coach. Every day I have someone call me on the phone. They review these questions with me and they listen to me read the answers. Now, why do I have someone call me every day? Someone said, why do you do this? Don't you know the theory about how to change? I wrote the theory about how to change. That's why I do it. It's hard. My name is Marshall Goldsmith. I got ranked #1 coach in the whole world. I have a woman call me on the phone every day. She listens to me read questions I wrote every day and provide answers I wrote every day. Why do I do this? My name is Marshall Goldsmith. I'm too cowardly to do this by myself. Too undisciplined to do this by myself. I need help. And you know what?
What?
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. We all need help. Once you admit you need help, get over that silly macho nonsense. I can do it on my own. If you could do it on your own, it'd be done by now.
I meet many people that they think that they can do it on their own.
Yeah, people say, how many years you been working on this? 20 years. Okay, fine. You haven't fixed it in 20 years. Why is tomorrow going to be different? It won't be different.
Going to be, no.
Make it. Yeah, you're not going to fix it.
No,
get some help.
But
But another but.
Like
that's
80 bucks. 80 bucks. Or guys, do you have some money here? Do you have some money here?
I trust you. You just donated to the charity.
I will send you the money. Wow.
My all-time record with one client is $420
No way.
in an hour and a half.
I'm getting out of the room right now.
See, that works. The $20 thing works.
So punishment also works.
And let me tell you what's
if you
interesting.
attach financial.
I'll tell you what's interesting about the money.
Yeah,
It's not the money.
it's not okay.
No. Have you ever been to the beautiful airport in Delhi, India?
No.
Anyway, it's a beautiful airport,
Yeah.
and it's built by my friend Mr. Jim Rao.
Okay.
He's a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
So Bill Gates flies to India with Warren Buffett, and they're going to try to talk rich people and give money to the poor. So my friend gives a personal check for $340 million US to poor people. 2 days later, I'm coaching him, same as you, $20, $40. He goes, "This is expensive." I said, "Excuse me, you just donated $340 million as charity 2 days ago? Now you're complaining about $20.
$20, yeah.
What's wrong with you?" You know what he said? "I forgot." I forgot. I didn't forget donating $300 million. I forgot. Now let me explain the difference.
Yeah.
My friend writing a check for $340 million in front of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and every newspaper in India, you know what that's called? Winning. Winning. $20.
Adrenaline.
Losing. It's not the $20. It's hard for winners not to win. You don't mind giving $20 to the charity. I'm sure you'd give a lot more than that all the time.
Yeah.
You don't like losing $20.
It's hard for winners not to win.
Look at you. Even when I said $20, now you start thinking, ooh.
So we don't need to push ourselves to win all the time?
You want to go to dinner at restaurant X. You married or single?
Yeah, I'm married. I have
Your wife,
a
you want to go to
relationship
dinner at X. Your wife wants to go to Y. You have an argument. You go to Y. It was not your choice. The food tastes awful and the service is terrible. Option A, you could say, you know, this mistake could have been avoided if you listen to me. Option B, you could shut up, eat the food, enjoy it, and have a nice evening. What would I do? What should I do? Almost all my clients, what would I do? Critique the food. What should I do? Shut up.
And enjoy it.
Enjoy it. It's hard for winners not to win. You have to prove her right over and over and over again.
Not easy. You mentioned if I'm married. Yeah, I'm in the relationship for 20 years, but you are married too for how many years?
43 years.
43 years. Do you have any tips, rituals, or habits that you have with your wife to have this great relationship for 40-something years?
Yeah, travel a lot.
Yeah, I can see that you are traveling a lot, but
She only sees me half the time. That's plenty.
but I can $100. I can relate. I can relate. Traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Always when I come back, I feel these
good.
butterflies in my stomach. It's
Yeah.
like I was not there, and I want to see my wife.
Good.
Yeah. So
It's a good thing.
But 120. But 120.
You're learning at
and
least.
still, I miss my kids
Of course.
when I'm traveling. How did you deal, or how? No, not maybe now, but how did you deal with this feeling of guilt?
I had no feeling of guilt.
You didn't?
I spent 135 days, 4 hours with my kids. It's more than 98% of all fathers.
Yeah.
Why should I feel guilty? And I said, after a while, they get sick of me. Not so
when
much.
they get 17 or 16 or even before.
Yeah, please, not
Yeah.
so much. Yeah.
So we have to have a system to track how much time we spend with our wives.
If you want to do it,
Yeah. I think this is important.
I agree.
This is
Little
important.
things like your health, working out, how much you weigh, all that stuff. Very
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. So, how much is this relationship with your family, your wife, kids, this personal aspect of your life? How does this affect the success in the professional life?
You know, for most of us, not all of us,
Okay,
for about 80% of the people, the way we act at work is the same as we act at home. If you don't listen at work, you don't listen at home. You don't give recognition at work, you don't give recognition at home. You don't find meaning at work, you don't find meaning at home.
When you have these coaching sessions with your clients and you gather the questionnaires and do the interviews with their employees,
Yes.
do you do interviews with their loved ones?
Oftentimes, yes. Not always.
Okay.
It's up to them. If they want me to, I do, yes. And that's often more meaningful. More meaningful.
That
I'll
would be
tell you two stories. One man had a problem with anger. And I had two sons, and I interviewed his sons. Very impressive. One went to Princeton, one went to MIT. And very good boys. Hardworking, very impressive. And the boys said, when we would go for a vacation, we'd always bet how long it would take Daddy to get angry and ruin the vacation. Now, when he got that feedback at work about anger, he kept blaming others. It's their problem, it's not me. When his son said that, he started crying. He said, how terrible, my own sons. Well, the home, when you get the same at home and at work, you can't deny it. You can't deny it.
No.
It's your problem.
Yeah.
At work, he was blaming the others. When he saw it at home,
You cannot blame your family then.
no. Yeah.
It always starts with me. Questions, yeah. Questions are powerful. I like the concept with asking questions before
Yes.
you go to bed.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what questions do you ask yourself before you go to bed?
Well, I ask myself many questions.
Yeah.
You know, so I have a whole laundry list of questions. If anybody would like all my questions, send me an email, marshall@marshallgoldsmith.com.
Okay.
I'll send them all my questions and an article about the process. But I ask big questions and little questions. Now, one thing that's new in my book, Triggers, I introduce is active questions.
Active, yeah.
Yeah, that's begin with, did I do my best to? So 6 questions I recommend now for everybody.
Okay.
And they all begin with, did I do my best to? Number 1, set clear goals. Number 2, make progress toward achieving my own goals. Number 3, find meaning. Number 4, be happy. Number 5, build positive relationships. And number 6, be fully engaged. Did I do my best every day to do these 6 things?
6 things.
And we've done research from thousands of people. If you just ask yourself these questions every day, the scores go up because you become aware. And by the way, the one thing in life you have total control over is one question: did I do my best?
Did I do my best too?
Yeah, you can't blame others.
It's not that you did it or not, but did you do your best?
Did you try?
Did you try? Did you even think about it?
Did you even try?
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't even try, you can't blame someone else.
So the perfection is not the key goal here.
The problem is if you just measure, did you achieve results?
Then you
Blame
fail
others.
many times.
Well, you blame others too.
That is a strong one.
Yeah, because, well, yeah, I didn't get this done, but they didn't help me, and he didn't do his job, and then blah, blah, blah. When you say, did I do my best?
It's me.
Yeah. The hardest question has 4 qualities. And this is very surprising. 4 qualities. 1, you write the question. Why is it hard? You can't blame the idiot that wrote the question. Number 2, you know the answer. Number 3, you know it's important. And number 4, all you have to do to make a high score is try. All you have to do is try. Now, why is that so hard? Nobody to blame. No place to hide. Who's responsible? See, it's so much more fun to blame other people.
This is a simple concept. You can read it everywhere. You have to take the responsibility for whatever it's coming on your way in your life and business, but it's not easy to live it.
No, and also corporations don't even reinforcement. If you look at the concept of employee engagement, all they teach is it's the company's problem. If the company does these things, you'll be engaged. Well, that's sort of true, but that misses half the point. Half of it's the company's problem, and half of it's the employee's problem.
Great. What about the comfort zones that we fall into it after a while?
Very hard to change when you're comfortable. Some of the best coaching I ever got that I didn't listen to was, I I met a famous man named Dr. Paul Hersey. He was kind enough to let me follow him around. He invented situational leadership with Ken Blanchard many years ago. And then one day he got double booked. He said, "Can you do what I do?" I said, "Oh, no." He said, "I'll pay $1,000 for a day." It was 41 years ago. I was 28.
This is how you started with coaching? That was the question on my list.
I said, "I'll try." I went to work. I was very successful. The client was angry when I showed up because it wasn't him, but then I was very successful. And he said, "You want to do this again?" That's how I got into business. Then 2 years later, he called me in and he said, "You're making too much money. You're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You're not becoming the person you could be. And at the rate you're going, you'll have a good life and make money and be successful, but you'll never be the person you could be." And I'd say for 10 years he was right. I really wasn't becoming the person I could be. So it's very hard when we're comfortable, when things are good, making some money, successful, to kind of coast and not to say, am I becoming the person I could be, or am I just repeating this pattern?
While I'm earning all this money. And
Yeah.
this is a powerful question. Am I becoming the person that I could be?
Right. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to be an old man, look back on your life and say, "I wish I would have."
I wish I would have this.
Yeah.
More time for my kids, more time for my family, more
Right.
time for myself.
Yes.
Do you see this often, that people regret what they didn't do in the past?
Yeah. Often. Not always.
It's hard probably to look in the mirror and,
I don't have many regrets.
no? You don't have? What would you do differently?
No. Oh, nothing.
No, nothing.
You know what? I would do absolutely nothing different. Why? It's not that everything I did was perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
I made many mistakes. On the other hand, if you look at where I'm from, very poor.
Well,
The first 4 years I was in school, we didn't even have indoor toilets. We had outdoor toilets, no plumbing. Primitive. Very low income, low education.
yeah.
To go from there to here, almost impossible. Any change I made, the odds on it making things better, slim. The odds on it making things worse, highly probable. And even the mistakes I made, which I've made many mistakes, you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
If you didn't make the mistake, you wouldn't have learned. So I wouldn't change anything because my life ended up being far better than I could have ever dreamed. And anything I would have changed, and again, it's not that I did everything perfect.
Yeah.
It's if I changed, the assumption is you'd be better. Not necessarily. See, those failures, that's how you learn. You take away the failure,
Yeah.
you're also taking away everything you learned from the failure. And you might not be better off, you might be worse off.
You mentioned your childhood. Your family was poor. So what was your relationship with your parents like?
Oh, my mother was a
Did they
teacher,
support
but
you?
she didn't teach when I was growing up, so I was her only student. So I knew how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide before I went to school. So I had a huge advantage over the other kids. My mother did nothing but teach me.
Did you get any traits from them that helped you to get you here where you are today?
If it weren't for my mother, I wouldn't be here. I mean, and then my father had a good sense of humor, so I got that from him.
Yeah, I can see every speech that you deliver, it's filled with humor.
Yeah, I got that from my father.
Yeah. So you got sense of humor from your father and
Thinker from my
thinker
mother.
from your mother. A good combination.
So I end up with a thinker with a good sense of
But
humor.
you are not good at the mechanic. Yeah,
But-
140. You didn't count one. But you are not good at the mechanic. You are not good at the mechanic. 160. You are not good at the mechanic.
Because of my mother.
Yeah.
She didn't. My dad had the little gas station, so she didn't want me to work there.
She
So-
didn't want you to
Of
work
course
there.
not. Oh no, not her boy.
She was smart.
You have no mechanical skills, you will never have skills. My mother, when I'm a boy, you have no mechanical skills. Never will you have skills. So I don't learn. It wasn't until I was 26 I finally realized I had no mechanical skills because she told me that.
So this is like imprinting the belief
programming.
system.
Programming.
Programming, yeah.
And it works.
Can we talk about the programming a little bit? Like
Sure.
this was literally the belief system that she
Yeah, what'd she teach me?
imprint.
You're smart
Yeah.
and you have no mechanical skills.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah.
Very smart, no mechanical skills. So guess what? You grew up trying to prove you're smart. You have no mechanical skills.
Crazy.
Yeah, life.
How many beliefs do we get from our parents that can help or
Yeah, and
not
a
helping
lot
us?
of this is just programming. Like I'll coach a CEO. The guy will say, I can't listen. I've never been able to listen. I can't listen. I look in the guy's ears. Why can't you listen? You have something stuck in there? Well, he can't listen because he keeps telling himself he can't listen. There's no genetic reason you can't listen.
But he got this somewhere. How much is it, guys? It's 180. I'm investing in my knowledge right now.
You are, and you're helping these poor little children.
Can you say again these words that I cannot say?
No, but however.
No, but, and however.
The but is a big one for you, though.
The but. I have to work on my butt.
you have to work
on
on
my
that.
butt.
I have a funny story.
Yeah.
I was interviewed by the New York Post years ago. And the interviewer had a terrible attitude. You know, business people are jerks, and they have to hire some fool like me, and they're all blah, blah. Finally, I said, my clients are not nearly as bad as you. You start every sentence with no but or however, just a terrible habit. Starting there, every time we do this, it's like $20. So he said, but 20, 40, 60, and then I go 80. He said, I didn't say but. I said, yeah, you did. He said, I did not. Then I said, you sure? I'm positive. Then I said, oh, look, that's a tape recorder. Oh, it has a rewind button. Let's rewind. He said, yeah. Then he plays it back. But he goes home, he listens to it, and then it gets worse. Then he goes to his wife, he goes, I don't do that to you, do I? His wife started pounding him. He wrote the nicest story. You know what he said in the story? I went into this interview with the idea that business people are jerks. At the end of the interview, I decided maybe I ought to look in the mirror. Who am I to judge these people? Who am I to judge them? It's a great story because he realized we're all just humans.
We're all humans. Yeah, this belief system is strong. I think it's keeping us from achieving what we want.
Yeah.
Meetings. If you are CEO or entrepreneur, you have to have meetings. So this is my belief now. I hate meetings. I really hate meetings.
You want more
or
coaching?
Maybe I am hating something.
Breathing. Breathe. Now you want more coaching. More coaching for you?
Yeah.
Never say that again.
No. Okay.
Never say that again.
Yeah.
As long as you say, I hate meetings, guess what?
You hate meetings.
You're going to hate meetings.
Yeah.
Then every meeting you're in,
You hate meetings.
you're going to hate it.
You're not focused.
Who is that terrible person forcing you to hate meetings?
I think I have to look in the mirror.
Exactly. Quit saying that.
I'm telling this to myself for the last 20 years.
I know. Why? What do you gain by telling that to yourself? Nothing.
I always think that I have something more important to do.
Ooh,
Or I don't. Or what is up? What is up now?
Ego. Yes, Marshall. I am above the meetings.
Yeah.
Below me, I have more important things to do than deal with those boring people. Is that what I just heard?
Okay.
I heard that, didn't
Great.
I? Little
Great
ego.
one.
Little ego talking.
Great one. And I have many friends. They tell the same shit.
It's good.
Or maybe I don't know how to run meetings.
Well, if you're running the meeting and you hate it, whose fault is that?
I think it's me
Of
again in
course.
the mirror.
Now, I'm going to give you an exercise.
Okay.
If you had to go to a meeting, let's say it's not your meeting, someone else is running the meeting.
I am participating.
You're participating.
Okay.
You have to go.
Okay.
At the end of the meeting, you're going to be asked 4 questions. Did I do my best to be happy? Did I do my best to find meaning? Did I do my best to build positive relationships? And did I do my best to be fully engaged? If you knew you were going to be tested on those questions, you'd act different.
Yeah. You would
You'd
be
act
there.
much different. You'd act very different.
Yeah.
So guess what? Starting
Powerful.
now,
Powerful.
starting now, do test yourself. You see, if you're in that meeting and you're bitter and disengaged, at 1 hour of your life just disappeared.
Yeah.
The real loser is not everyone else. The real loser is you. You're not. And one thing you learn when you get older, you don't get the hour back.
Absolutely. What about like types of meetings. How often should we meet with our top people?
Depends. I can't give you a cookie cutter
Yeah,
answer.
uh-huh.
My friend Alan met with his team every week.
Every
When he
week?
turned around Ford, yes. Fantastic job.
And you also have some,
He loved meetings.
yeah? After he met you, probably.
Loved meetings before he met me.
Yeah?
That's why he's so good at them.
Yeah. I think one guy wrote a book, Meetings Sucks. Yeah.
There you go. You like that book.
No, I like that book because it gave me some perspective that I should structure my meetings with my people, you know, salespeople,
Good,
top
good.
people. But it didn't give me the perspective that you gave me.
Right.
Thank you very much. This was a huge one. I have some questions more.
Good.
Let's talk about the latest book.
Which one?
I think it's Women Rise.
How Women Rise, yeah.
Is it the last one?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Just came out.
Just came out. Yeah.
Already in Russia. I was shocked. I
yeah.
was just in
Oh, really?
Moscow. It's already there.
In Russia, you can find a lot of books.
I don't know if it's there, but there
Don't
was
worry.
a book there.
Don't worry.
It's there. I know. I'm looking at it like, I
It's
don't
before
know.
you publish it.
I know. I'm going, whoa, how did you get in Russian already?
Yeah, I ordered the book. I didn't get it.
No, it's
Yeah,
in Russian
yeah.
now.
Yeah. So what brought you to write this book?
Well, it's
Women
very
Rise. I was
interesting.
shocked. Like Women Rise. Marshall Goldsmith.
Well, I'm the
Why?
second author.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm not the first author.
Yeah.
I'm an old white man.
Okay.
Old white man is not first author on a book for women. Please.
Okay, yeah,
bad
yeah,
idea.
yeah, bad
Target
idea.
on the head. Very bad. No, I'm not stupid. No, the first author is a woman. Let's get this clear.
Okay, let's get this clear.
Get this clear. She's the head author. I'm number 2 here.
Okay,
Well, let's get
okay,
this right.
yeah.
What happened is pure accident. There's this guy named Mike Dulworth, and I don't even know him that well, and my friend Sally doesn't know him that well, but he kind of knows both of us. And he just sent an email and said, crazy idea. He said, your book, Marshall, What Got You Here, When You There, was largely about men. Because most of the CEOs I deal with are men.
Yeah.
And why don't you write one of those specifically for women with Sally? Sally just called me up and said, what do you think? I said, look, I'm not going to write the book.
Yeah.
I'll help you. You write the book. I'll be the second author. Do it if you want to. She said, let's do it. We did it. I've been shocked. The book got a huge advance,
Yeah.
which I hadn't thought about. I thought maybe it would sell 5,000 or 6,000 copies. It sold more than that the first week. I think it could be a big international bestseller now. So it turned out to be far more popular than I thought, and we deal with some specific issues that women have more than men. For example,
Yeah.
the average woman gets better at 360 feedback than the average man. Yet the average woman has one issue to deal with much more than the average man. Women are too hard on themselves. So one thing I say to women, much more than men, is please don't be too hard on yourself. You can't be the perfect everything to everyone. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Wow, great advice for women that are watching
don't be
right
too
now.
hard. And women often sacrifice their career for their job. Sally taught me this.
You mean family for
No?
career for their job?
That's right.
Wow.
Let me explain this. It
Yes,
took me a while
please.
to understand it.
Yes.
What happens is women more than men get so involved in doing a great job that they don't invest in their larger career. See? And what happens is they really do a great job. So in recognition, the boss says, I'll give you more.
Yeah.
Guess what?
They take on
They do more. Guess what they get then?
more.
More. And then they become indispensable. Which means they don't get promoted. Because they're spending all of their time on this job. And as opposed to saying, you know, what you're doing is about 95% quality. Now you could spend twice as much time and make it 99. Or you could take that same time and invest in your future. Maybe sometimes you're better off investing in your future. Similar to my story. I was doing a good job and I was not investing in my career. I was sacrificing my career for my job. Women also have this silly belief that my good work should speak for itself. No, that's ridiculous. God is not going to fly out of the sky and recognize your good work. If that were true, no company would need a marketing function. Your good work doesn't speak for itself. You've got to be your own marketing function. Women have a harder time promoting themselves. They're less likely to ask for promotions, ask for pay raises, negotiate salaries.
Ooh, powerful. So what are you trying to achieve with that book?
Well, the book is really to help women achieve higher levels of power, status, and influence if they want to.
Yeah.
We're not making a value judgment. We're not saying you should want to get promoted.
Yeah.
On the other hand, power can be defined as influence potential. If you want to make a positive difference in the world, you have to have influence potential. If you don't want to change, it's okay. You don't want to move up in a company, it's okay too. We're not making a judgment. On the other hand, if you do, this book is designed to talk about specific challenges women have and how you can get over them.
Great book.
Yeah, exciting.
I'm gonna read it too.
Very exciting.
It can help men too.
I think
Working with women.
I think it'll help me understand women. Yeah.
Good stuff. You wrote 38
This
books.
last one is 38.
38 books. When did
By the way, mostly they're purchased by my mother, my father, and the relatives. But a few of them sold some copies.
When did you consider yourself as a writer for the first time?
No, not for years.
Not for you.
I was in my late 40s probably.
Do you consider yourself as a speaker, coach, or writer, or
Now I'm all.
no? You
So
are
I
not.
write,
Yeah.
speak, coach.
There are not many people out there that are coaches, authors, speakers. You know what I'm talking about?
Well,
You
then,
have good writers.
Not too many #1 leadership thinker, #1 executive coach, and sold 2.5 million books.
Yeah.
How many of those are there?
I don't know them. You
I think
it's-
there's one.
Yeah, I think
That would be me.
it's one thing to write a book and then go on stage and deliver it. That it's fun, provocative, and educational, and then also do coaching one-on-one.
Yeah.
Do coaching one-on-one. So how many clients do you have? You do take on a year?
You know, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut back from doing individual coaching. And I'm going to be more of a mentor coach to help others.
Do you have some projects? I know that.
Well, I'm adopting people.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you read about that project?
I applied.
Oh,
like
good.
100, but I was not accepted for the first time. I will apply for
Don't
the
give
next
up.
time.
Let me.
Yeah.
Did you see the people that were accepted?
It was clear to me that I have to wait a little bit.
I'm going to help you. Don't feel bad that you weren't accepted.
I
If you saw the list,
Yeah, I
the
saw
dean
that.
of the Harvard Medical
Yeah,
School
yeah,
and the Mayo Clinic and the Nature and the president of World Bank. Today, I wouldn't be accepted. I wouldn't be
Oh, thank you,
accepted.
Marsh.
I wouldn't make my own club. I look at the list, I wouldn't win. It's an amazing group of people. So it's an amazing story. I went to a program called Design the Life You Love. In this program, the woman said, "Who are your heroes?" My heroes were very generous, like Paul Hersey and Peter Drucker, very generous, kind people, and they never charged me money. She said, "Why don't you be like them?" That's when I came up with this idea of adopt 15 people, teach them all I know for free. I made a selfie video, put it on LinkedIn, the most widely viewed video in the history of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
16,000 people applied. 16,000.
And you
For
accepted
100.
100.
Yeah, so don't feel too bad. I mean, put it this way, Harvard Business School, 9,700 people applied for 900 positions. I had 16,000 apply for 100 positions. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to get in. And it's just been amazing. I love the project, though. It's so much fun. And the people, though, that I look at the list, I can't believe it myself. Look who these people are. It's amazing.
Did you learn from them also?
Of course. I learned from them far more than they learned from me. The big winner on the project is me. I did it by the of helping others. The person who wins the most is me.
I think this is the legacy that you're passing on.
It's this, that's it. It's all about legacy.
Yeah. So, what is the legacy that you want to leave on this planet?
Well, if you look at the people I dedicate this to, my heroes. Peter Drucker. He taught me many things.
Yeah.
I use what he taught me every day. Peter Drucker will never die as long as I'm alive. See what I mean?
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will never die as long as I'm alive.
And you touched so many people.
Well,
through
and
books
as long
and
as those
coaching.
people help others, and then in a way, even after I die, I'm still alive, helping.
I think you're gonna live forever.
I hope so.
I really do.
In that sense.
Yeah. What about your kids? What legacy did you put
Well, my kids are totally the opposites. So,
Opposite.
what?
opposite?
Opposite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kelly, daughter, she has a PhD
Oh, my
in
daughter
marketing.
graduated, she's star of the play, president of his class, graduates with honors from Duke. Was on the Survivor TV show. She went to Yale. She got a PhD from Yale. Not so easy. Professor at the Kellogg School. Now she already has tenure at Vanderbilt, which is amazing because she's still in her 30s. So to be a senior professor today at a top school in your 30s, almost impossible. So, very hardworking, gung-ho. My son was the opposite. Didn't like school at all. Brian, he didn't like school at all. Didn't like school, terrible student, didn't care for it. Now, entrepreneur. We bought properties. He has property management, lives in a big mansion. It's worth, a few million. So he's doing
Successful
great.
guy.
Totally opposite, though, of my daughter.
Yeah.
The only bad thing is my poor daughter.
Same father, same mother,
Same
but they're so
everything.
different.
Opposite.
How can you explain that?
I never judge parents.
It's fascinating.
By the way, you could have said to my son when he was 28, I'm a terrible father. Now he says he's 34, I'm a great father. I didn't get better. I'm the same father.
What changed?
He changed. He got motivated. All of a sudden, small business guy. He owns 5 businesses now and properties, and he's just doing great. The only negative part of the story is my poor daughter. My daughter goes, wait, I was the good one. I got a PhD from Yale. I worked hard. He didn't.
But it's not.
But somehow he's living in a big mansion. What does it all mean?
It's not that easy to have Marshall Goldsmith as a father.
Maybe not.
It's not that easy, probably.
Yeah.
Do you think that you
But they're both doing fine now.
Yeah. Do you think that you set some expectations too high when they were like small kids?
Well, they're doing fine. Look, my son's doing fine. My daughter's doing fine. Different.
Different. Yeah.
Totally different. I got a coach for my son, too. His name's Doug Winnie. Smartest thing I ever did. Because he's a good coach. I'm not an expert on small business anyway. He's a small business coach. One thing I learned from my son, if I had to do it over, is I really think small business is a good option for a lot of people. Education is not for everybody.
It's not?
No, look at the 5 business companies in America. 4 of the 5 are founded by dropouts.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I'm not sure that, I was very much pro-education, but if I had to look at it now, for a lot of kids who really don't like school, if you took all that money you wasted on those colleges, where they didn't learn anything anyway, and invested in small business, they might have been a lot better off.
So you think self-education is the key?
Well, not for everybody. Again, it's not yes or no. For my daughter, I think education was very good. Everybody, though, doesn't love college. Everybody's not learning things. And for a lot of people, it's a waste of time.
I have many followers that are young, very young, and they ask me this question all the time. Should I go to school like my father and mother wants, or should I start some business? And now they are 17, 18, 19.
I would say the answer is it depends. If you're an excellent student, who makes all A's, maybe you should go to school. If you hate school and you're not a good student, and you probably wouldn't learn that much, maybe you shouldn't. I can't give you a cookie-cutter answer. I think it depends.
Because you can waste your time like 5, 10 years.
Yeah, I just changed my view on this because I used to be totally everyone should go to school. I don't think so anymore. No, I don't think it's for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that. As I say, my son...
No, it's not.
My son is doing great. My daughter's doing great. And they're the opposite. It's okay.
This is good advice for young people.
Again, and I think not putting everyone in the same box.
No, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's not the same. Don't try to make them all the same.
Of course.
Yeah.
But kids, they don't like not most of them, they don't like school. They don't like to go to school.
Yeah, some do, some don't.
And in the area that I live, they don't see any future,
Where do you live?
In Slovenia, and this is the former Yugoslavia countries like Slovenia, Montenegro, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Serbia, Macedonia. And they are looking at their fathers, mothers. They went to school, they couldn't get a job. Now they don't have a job.
Right.
So, they don't think that this is the number one crucial thing to have education to get a job, because
it could be for some of them, though. For some, it could be number one.
it could be.
For some?
Yeah, for some. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Okay, this is strong one. You mentioned coaching. I think that this industry is growing like crazy.
It is.
Yeah. Why so? And what advice would you give to these guys that want to get into the coaching industry?
Well, to start with, it's not an easy business. So unfortunately, a lot of people think of coaching, they think they're all going to be me.
You can burn out easily.
Well, I'll tell you, one night I had dinner with 3 young guys, about 32, getting PhDs. And they all looked at me and said, we're going to do what you do when we graduate. Yeah, I'm going, I said, what do you mean? Oh, we're going to coach CEOs. I'm going, excuse me, you know, see, at that time, 35 books, 11 million miles. You're going to be me when you graduate? Good luck. Good luck on that, kid. It's not that easy.
The mirror.
Yeah, look in the mirror. 11 million miles. You haven't flown the 11 million miles.
No, not yet.
You haven't written the 35 books. No, you're going to be me next week? Maybe not. You had to pay some dues.
I like.
You know, you had to pay the price. And so
You gotta pay the price.
it's the coaching business. I mean, I love the coaching business. Let me tell you, good news and bad news. Everybody loves the work. The work itself is fantastic. As a business, it's a terrible business. The median income from somebody that's a coach in the ICS,
A year.
30,000
Yeah,
US
it's
or
not
something.
more, yeah.
The guy delivering groceries makes that much. It's a terrible business for most people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes they go to the idea they're all going to, you know, be me. Well, yeah, good luck.
But what advice would you give? It's already 200.
200.
200. What advice would you give to somebody that want to become you?
Depends how old they are.
Okay.
If they're very young, then I would go to school. Get a PhD, go to the best school you can get in, if you're young. If you're older, I would not advise that. It just takes too many years. See, if you're young, you're not going to be a coach when you're 25 anyway.
No.
Schools,
Not the top CEOs.
yeah, the school is a great option when you're young, if you want to do that. On the other hand, when you get older, you're not going to put in 5 years to get a PhD. It's too painful.
Yeah.
By the way, also getting a PhD is much more painful for an old person than a young person. It's kind of humiliating, humbling. And when you're young, all right, you put up with it. When you're old, it's harder. It's just tougher to do. So I would say it depends on your age and station in life. Another group that could be very good at it is retired people. Because, you know, they've already got money. They're not under financial pressure. They can help others. So I think that's a really market for coaches in the future is
It is huge.
older ex-CEOs, people like that, yeah, retired people.
And the coaching is the #1 industry in the world. It's growing like crazy.
It is growing.
Yeah,
It is growing.
It's growing, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a pioneer in coaching.
Yeah, and it's obvious that one thing is to have skills to coach somebody and to earn money from coaching
It's not,
somebody.
and it's not the same.
But
can
you are
have all
good
the
at
skills.
everything.
You
How-
can have skills and no money.
Yeah, but how do you market yourself? Like,
Well,
right now it's easy probably, but 11 million miles, it's not easy.
No, I still work on marketing myself all the time.
Yeah?
Do you see me stopping?
No.
How many followers do I have on LinkedIn? Do you know?
How many?
Over 1 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I saw the last time it was around 900,000.
It's over 1 million now. Wow. That's a lot. 1 million people. Well, I'm a great believer in marketing, personal marketing. And Peter Drucker taught me if you do great marketing, you don't need to sell. Actually, I don't think I'm good at selling. I don't sell much of anything. I'm very good at marketing, though. If you market enough, you don't have to sell.
They
I mean,
buy.
I'm here. I didn't ask these people to hire me. They called me up on the phone and asked for me to work here. From a sales point of view, I just take orders.
So for you, what is marketing? Is
Marketing is
bringing out
building a
content,
brand.
building a
Build your
brand,
brand. Build your personal
creating
brand.
content.
Well, no, that's different. Content, I think, is different than marketing. You need both.
Yeah.
Marketing, though, is building a brand. I work very hard at building a brand. If you do a Google search, 3 words, helping successful leaders, in quotes, First 500 hits, 450 are me. The rest of the world is 50. And who's the most famous executive coach? Who's second?
I don't know.
That's marketing.
This is hard.
That's marketing. That's marketing. So I'm very good at personal marketing, and I enjoy it. And I'm always doing new things, like the new book. So I never coast. Because to me, when you coast,
Do you have another project going on?
I have two right
A
now.
book? How do you generate these ideas for books?
You know, I don't know. I often think back at my mind. I could do 5 books right now in terms of ideas. I always have ideas. I just have lots of ideas.
You read a lot?
Some.
What is
I
your
think a lot.
what is your favorite book? Like, what
my
is the
favorite
first
book
book that changed your life?
Well, my favorite book is called Old Path, White Clouds by Thich Nhat Hanh. Thichnhathanh, Vietnamese Buddhist monk.
Okay.
Old Path, White Clouds. I love that book.
What is the book about? I have to
Buddhism.
Buddhism.
I've read 400 books on Buddhism. I've read more books on Buddhism than I have on business.
Amazing. Okay, this was something valuable for me. Can you tell me how you structure your day? Do you have any?
Depends on the day.
Yeah, but what does the ideal day look like?
I think you might have
Again, 200.
But when I think you might be
220 probably.
220, yes, yeah.
Okay. You will give me your bank account number.
No,
I think you are the best coach.
I've caught you doing that 11 times. How many times would you done it had I not brought it to your attention? 50? Every sentence.
And it's subconsciously.
I know.
I think this is the same with other things too.
A habit.
A habit. Habit.
A habit.
What is your number one success habit that you have? And this is maybe the
Measure what I do every day.
This is the difference between you and other people.
Every day.
Measure what you do every day.
Every day. The other thing is, I need help and it's okay. I have no delusion about my willpower. I have no delusion about my courage. No delusion about my discipline. I'm too cowardly and too undisciplined to do most of these things by myself, and I know it, and I'm happy with that. I need help. If I don't get help, it won't get done. And yet, that's okay.
If the number one coach in the world says that he needs help, then I don't know what the rest of us are thinking.
You shouldn't be ashamed.
No. I think this is the huge one.
Yeah, you shouldn't be ashamed. We all need help.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Once we get over this silly, macho, I can do everything on my own. Hey, I can't do everything on my own.
I go to the gym. I have a personal trainer for 15 years, the same one.
Very smart.
Yeah. And
Why? Because you need help.
I need help. And I see some comments on the Facebook page like, this guy, he's a motivational speaker and coach, and he needs help from somebody to coach him on his physical activities.
You should talk about it. You know, you say, yes, you're right. Yes, that is true. And you know what?
I'm committed if I have a coach. If I said...
You should, you know what you should say? You're right.
Yeah.
I am a motivational trainer and speaker, and I also need help.
Yeah, I need
and I'm
help.
not
I
ashamed
need a
of
coach.
it. I'm not ashamed to need help.
Right.
We all need help. Go back to the tennis players.
Yeah, then
They all have coaches.
Yeah.
Are they ashamed?
Not one. For
Yeah,
every area.
Multiple coaches.
Yeah.
Are they ashamed to have coaches?
No.
Of course not.
That's why they are top.
That's why they're the top tennis player. They didn't have coaches, they wouldn't be the top tennis players.
Yeah.
They're smart.
So how is your ideal day structured?
Really,
When do you wake up?
really depends. I don't really have I don't really have a normal life.
Okay.
My life is very diverse, and every day is different. And I'm in different countries and doing different things. And I mean, like some days I'll end up talking to some guy in an interview. You know, who knows? All kinds of strange things happen.
But when you're at home, how much?
240.
Oh my God. Hey guys, are you participating? When you're at home, when do I wake up? For me, 5 a.m. club was impossible club.
I sleep 8 hours every day.
Okay.
I can lie down right now on this hard floor.
And you can
right
fall
now,
asleep.
lights, everything. People could talk, walk around me, sleep in 2 minutes. When I was a young man, used, hitchhike? I used to hitchhike. I hitchhiked 10,000 miles. I'd sleep on the side of the road. I slept in laundromats. I slept under bridges. People say, do I have trouble sleeping in a hotel? Hey, I slept on the side of the road. I slept in a laundromat. I slept under bridges. I think I can sleep in a hotel. It's not really that hard.
But anyway, you are on the road so many days.
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I used to sleep on the side of the road. I didn't have enough money to be in a hotel. I'd sleep on the side of the road, under the bridge, in the laundromat. I slept everywhere.
Any hotel is the
can I
the
stay in
best
a hotel?
I like it.
I'm staying in some fancy luxury hotel, right? Oh, can you sleep in this hotel? I think so. I don't know why you couldn't. It's better than the side of the road, better than a laundromat. See, I was brought up, my home was here, and then there was a highway, and a railroad track, and a bar, and a gas station. That's where I was brought up. Constant noise.
Mm-hmm. So you train yourself to...
You had any choice.
To check out the noise.
I didn't have a choice. I was a kid. I didn't train myself. I was just conditioned that you have to learn to sleep through anything. Because if you can't sleep. I can sleep through anything. Very good training.
You meditate?
Yes.
Any special meditation or just quieting your mind? Or?
Let me give you my Buddhist philosophy.
Okay.
There are many schools of Buddhism. So when someone says they're a Buddhist, they don't really help you that much. Because there's so many different schools of Buddhism. My school is a very simple school. Buddha was brought up rich. His father tried to protect him from the world by giving him more and more and more. He never wanted Buddha to see the bad side of life. Buddha was able to sneak outside his bubble 3 times. You know what he learned? You get old, you get sick, and you die. 3 trips. You get old, you get sick, and you die. Shit happens. And he realized, I cannot be happy with more. There's not enough money to change this. He thought, I'll be happy with less. He starved himself, he lived in the woods. Was never happy with less. Then one night, he realized something. You can never be happy with more. You can never be happy with less. There's only one thing you can never be happy with, what you have. There's only one time you can ever be happy, now. There's only one place you can ever be happy, here. Where is nirvana? It's in a stadium, in some room, talking to some bald guy right now, giving you crap because you say, but. Here it is. It's not out there.
Yeah.
It's all right here.
Great, man. Thank you very much. I will finish this this interview because I got some lessons. Do you have any questions that I should have asked you? No?
What did you learn? Not about me. What did you learn about?
About myself?
Yeah.
I learned a lot. First thing is have the courage and humility to look in the mirror and admit that you're not perfect. Seek help, raise your hand. Say, I don't know anything, I don't know all.
Right.
Then I learned about 3 words that you have to be cautious about, but the only one that I remember 100% is but. And the last sentence is about the happiness.
Yeah.
They were the strong one.
See, I think for you, you, like me, have spent years proving that you're okay, that you're smart, that you're clever, over and over and over and over and over again. thousands of times. Hard to stop.
Especially to my dad.
Hard to stop, yeah. Hard to stop. And, you know, so I say something.
Mm-hmm.
You need to say, but, and like you're adding something that's wise and deep to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard not to do that. It's a habit. And you really need to say, do I have to do this? When the other person talks,
Do I have to say something?
but and add things and
Yeah.
or can I just maybe accept what they're saying?
I think
It's hard.
we don't listen enough.
But doesn't sound like you're
No,
listening.
no.
What does but sound like?
You are just waiting for your moment
Yeah.
to
Moment.
give the counter argument or say something.
Say something wise or
Yeah,
show
yeah,
off.
yeah. Prove something.
Prove something. That's about it. Yeah.
How much is this ego in our way on the way to success, happiness?
Well, it's two things. It's ego and conditioning. Just we've been conditioned to do this. I mean, in your life, you took test after test after test after test. You're always selling. You're selling more and more. You're selling yourself constantly. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's almost a reflex. It's hard. It's hard to stop. And we don't realize, it's just we do it
And year after year and year after year.
It's hard. Very hard to stop doing that.
Until you get exposed to your family member.
Yeah.
And then you don't have any excuse anymore.
Or until you do an interview with some bald guy that keeps going,
No, it's amazing when I read this story.
breathe, breathe, breathe.
Yeah.
You know what you just said?
But
No, it's amazing. Stop.
but no and however.
No, it's amazing. Now, why'd you say no, it's
Yeah,
amazing?
just
No, it's amazing.
yeah.
The most common phrase uttered by smart people when people tell us something we agree with is, no, I agree with you. No, it's
Yes, I
fantastic.
agree.
When your case, no, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So damn amazing. What'd you say no for?
Yeah.
Why didn't you say yes? It's amazing.
How
Let me
did
tell you
you
what
come-
the-
how
let me
did
tell
you
you what
come-
the-
How did you come up with these three magic words? It's amazing. No, but and however.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
No, it's amazing.
Terrible. Yeah. It was so amazing. Why'd you say no?
No, I like you.
Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic. No, it's a brilliant idea. No,
No.
no, 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 no. You know what the no means? Let me explain what that means.
Yeah.
When you say something, the most common phrase uttered by smart people, when people tell us something that we agree with, is, no, I agree with you. No, I agree with you. Sometimes we know it's a great idea. No, it's amazing. We do this over and over again. You know what the no, I agree with you means? No. Of course, I agree with you. You see, of course, I already knew that. You see, you are confusing me with someone who you think may need to hear you. It's very hard. It's very hard to have someone tell us something that we agree with and we already know without us pointing out we already know it. As opposed to just saying, fantastic idea.
Powerful. Which book would
You
you...
guys, did you shoot that last part?
Yes,
They did? They shot the whole thing? Good.
Yes.
This would be good tape.
this is after.
Oh, did they shoot the after part?
Everything.
Very good. This
Yeah.
will be a good tape.
I think
because
it's a
see,
good
the
one.
thing about the tape is that when you came in with this tape, you're going to interview me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. To be honest, this is not as interesting. The coaching part is much more interesting,
It is,
much more powerful, because that's real.
yeah.
It's like, how do you help other executives, Marshall? Not that I would ever need help, but how do you help those
Yeah.
other people, you know, blah,
Like,
blah, blah.
I'm super powerful.
Yeah. It's a whole different it's me. Yeah, get this guy. I bet we could edit this tape. It'd be good. Because, you know, there's a lot of little stuff in there of you. We could edit
Yeah,
a whole
you coach
section.
me.
Yeah, on that.
No,
That's probably more powerful than all
it's going
the,
to be the powerful interview.
yeah, as opposed to just, well, you know, how do you
Because
solve?
I was exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't
know,
want to.
it's
I didn't
more-
want to get out as a superhuman that I know everything. just from reading your books.
And I have some good news.
Yes.
If your goal was not to come off as a superhuman, you succeeded.
Well, I graduated.
Good job. No, let me tell you something. That last comment was so full of shit. It was. Yeah, let me explain what you just did. Yes, Marshall. I know I may have exposed myself, you see, and been vulnerable, but you see, Marshall, that was my goal. I didn't want to come off as a blah, 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 blah. What a bunch of nonsense.
Something to think about.
It's hard.
The food for thought.
This stuff is hard. It is very hard. I do this for a living. I can tell you. It's hard. So you didn't know when you sat down on this interview, right? No, you thought I was going to be talking about all those other folks.
When can I sign up for your coaching?
I don't know. You can definitely sign up for this 100 coaches thing, though.
When?
Now, where do you live?
In Slovenia.
This would be good. We don't have anybody from there.
It doesn't matter where do I live. It's just.
Oh, it does matter because
does.
I want to have diversity. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the only one from Slovenia.
I don't have to have any from that region even. That's good.
No.
You'd be perfect. Send me another bio.
Okay.
Write urgent.
Okay.
If you don't write urgent, I'll never see it. Send me bio. Write urgent. 100 coaches.
Okay.
I'll review your bio again. I already have more than 100 coaches
Thank
anyway.
you.
What if I have 120?
When do I start the next circle with?
Well, I'm now just doing it as an ongoing thing.
It's ongoing. Okay.
It's amazing. These programs, oh my goodness. The last one, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I had Gary Ridge, who's the CEO of WD-40, the highest engagement scores in America. I had this woman who's one of the top designers in the world. And I had Chester, the guy's expert on recognition, and Alan Mulally, who's the CEO of the year in the United States. 2 days. It was so good. And the people are so nice. The one before that was at the World Bank with Jim Kim, President of World Bank. The guy saved tens of millions of lives. So what's good about these people, they're doing it for free. What's good is, talk about humbling. Not much showing off. Because, you show off in front of those guys, you look like a fool. Nobody acts like a big shot.
Right.
No, I mean, it's one woman, she won the President Medal of Freedom, He was the CEO of the year in the United States, he's President of World Bank. Yeah, let's don't prove we're better than them. Yeah, that doesn't work. It's very humbling. And they're very humble people, too. So they're humble. So guess what? Everybody else, everybody's humble, which is good.
Great quality.
Very good. Great, that was fun.
For me too. If you have to recommend some book, 38 books you wrote, which one is your favorite one from Marshall Goldsmith?
I'd say sequence. I would do the sequence.
Which?
That one, and then that one. Same sequence.
What
that
got
one?
you here?
Yeah.
Moyo and this one.
Yeah, sequence. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I wrote them in that sequence.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the thought process kind of follows the sequence. Yeah.
adding up.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. It was very nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
From today on, I will be much more humble. Much more.
Write that donation to those little kids.
Yeah, $240. But what we are going to really do, we are going to add some more money.
It was 280 and then that was 300, so it's now 300.
So let's finish this interview with $300 donated to somebody, to some kids.
Poor little kids.
Poor little kids.
Oh, by the way, how much money have I raised for nice charities playing these games with my clients? Do you know that? I have raised over $1 million. It doesn't hurt anybody.
No.
Doesn't hurt anybody.
Doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, $1 million I've raised for charity.
And now it's $1,300,000.
That's right. Picked up an extra 300.
But when we are going back,
320.
when I'm about to say fuck. We are going back and listen to every second. I think there is much more than 320.
It could be.
It could be.
It could be.
I'm sure. I will send you the number.
I let you go in the beginning. And after you did it,
I will send you the real number. Okay, I will send you the real number. I think we are about 500.
well,
at
now
least.
just think about one thing. How many times would you have done it had I not been bringing it up?
I think 5, 7 times more.
Yeah, every sentence. Because you were trying not to do it.
These questions that you ask yourself, active questions, it's only about did I do my best to do it or did I do my best not to do it also? Like,
Well, it
did I do
depends
my
on the
best not
question.
to say but?
Well, that's a different question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different question. Both important, just different.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much one more time.
Really, it was
That
a
was
pleasure
fun.
to meet you.